503 dispatch. We got 2 DLs on the red line.
Is this what's best for me? I've never seen a sunset like this before. Watch the lights fading out upon the cliffs of the shore. I've never been this far from home. Now I'm stuck in the past. Is it too hard to see?
Because this environment has provided us with such a bouquet of challenges and pain, we've become more attached to it. If it didn't, it would be like a game that was too easy to beat and we'd toss it away, uninterested. And as we find ourselves becoming more and more attached to the environment, we find the environment becoming more attached to us, specifically the mud and the mosquitoes who have found a way to bite right through it. I crossed that mud pit to get on the levee, to get to the road, to take the road to get to the clinic where I needed to get a DOT physical. The clinic was about 9 miles from the mud pit where we tied off the canoe. I needed to get the DOT physical to keep my commercial driving license active. It was a pleasant walk through farm fields and everything, but I didn't want to do the 9 miles on blacktop barefoot, so I stuck my thumb out to hitch. Mowgli was in the truck that picked me up. Of course, someone else was driving, but the driver had picked up Mowgli, who was trying to hitch to breakfast, and then me. We got to the clinic about 20 minutes before they opened, and I washed as much of the environment as I could off of my legs. This faucet beside the clinic was the closest thing I could get to a shower before I went inside. Although there was nothing I could do about my clothes. I wear the same thing every day, trucker hat, fishing shirt, running shorts. In an effort to clean them before the appointment, I washed them in the river and hung them on a branch to air out instead of sleeping in them last night, but I don't know if that helped. And of course, someone had to call the law on the homeless guy who was washing himself outside the doctor's clinic. Actually, it was the lady who gave the physical, but she cleared me on the physical, pretended that she hadn't just called the cops on me, and we were on our way back to town. Within minutes, we had a ride to the gas station for breakfast, and our driver told us stories about the local area.
They done stole a four-wheeler out of this so they are.
Copper wire out there is big around, man.
Bigger river, taller grass, more bountiful fish, mud, and mosquitoes, easy hitchhiking, and a simple, soothing accent, plus chicken and biscuits for breakfast. It's good to be back in the South. It was back to the mud pit and the Mary Lou after the chicken and biscuit breakfast. The doctor side quest was complete. I used to use satellite imagery to choose a doctor. I'd see if the parking lot was big enough for an 18-wheeler before I made an appointment. Now I'm using satellite imagery to find a doctor based on how far they are from the river. I was back to the environment, this time in the willow trees, which smell like the color green and whose leaves never stop moving. Hey Mowgli, how long's it been since you've been in the water?
Couldn't tell you. Week, 10, 12 days, something.
When we went into town this morning, that was our first time touching ground in Tennessee on this trip. Mowgli celebrated the occasion of a new state by declaring his foot healed and getting back in the water to swim for the first time since he cut it on his hatchet up in Illinois. There are hypothetically 4 winds, but we've only been visited by 3 of them. The one that hits you in the mouth, the one that hits you in the ear, and the one that hits you in the other ear. It made waves big enough for me to stop filming and us both to put on our life jackets and then head for shore to bail out the water we had accumulated in the boat. We've learned a lot about towboats by watching them. This one's empty. Look how high his barge is above the water. And he's about to turn left. Look at what engine is going. Even with the hitchhiking, doctor's appointment, getting the police called on us, hitchhiking again, breakfast, going back to the boats, heat, waves, and everything else, we still made 37 miles on our first day in Tennessee. The sunset took us by surprise. It was hazy and cloudy. We thought it was going to be one of those nights where the sun dipped behind the clouds and things slowly got darker. But no, big red ball right under the haze. When the laden towboat headed southbound started trudging by with its American flag off the back and in no rush way to get to New Orleans, man, that just completed the picture. It felt like we were being initiated into part of the Mississippi River's culture as we stood there on the shore building camp and watched this huge part of the river's heritage as it plodded south and posed in front of the setting sun. These towboats are becoming just as much a part of the Mississippi environment as the willows and the mud.